Welcome everybody to your full house clean. This one is going to be a little bit longer. I'm sure you've noticed by the length of time that it says at the beginning of the video. You've got about an hour and a half of me. Won't that be pleasant? I got home from work on, I forget what day it was, Monday, Tuesday, I don't know. And I knew I was starting to feel what you can hear now, a cold coming on. And I knew I was going to have to get as much done as I could because I'm a bit of a, what shall I say? I'm a bit of a feeble sick person. I get sick even with the mildest of colds and I'm terrible. I want to lay in my bed and drink nothing but hot tea and just binge watch something or sleep or read a book. I don't want to move. I don't want to get out of bed. I just want to wallow and relax. Honestly, that's all I want to do the minute I get sick. So when I felt this cold coming on, I was like, we are going to have to get on top of this because sometimes colds can hit me quite hard. Thankfully, this one seems to be quite mild. I'm still, as you can hear, very congested, but I feel loads better. At the end of this day, I literally managed to clear the kitchen. And at the end of that day, I was so exhausted, I could barely make it up the stairs to bed. Like, barely make it up the stairs. My joints ached. My head felt like it was full of water and was just swimming around. My sinuses were that painful. My teeth were hurting. I had a stinking rotten headache. It was awful. Thankfully, though, like I say, it is quick-lived. I feel loads better now. And I've managed to get the rest of the house done. Occasionally, though, I can't breathe at all through my nose. And my right ear is gunged up and keeps, like if I bend in a certain way, the pressure in there really hurts my eardrum. But I got the house clean. We achieved the goal and I'm doing okay. So, hey, pluses all round. Now, when I came home from work, obviously it being the summer now, obviously we are getting some flies coming into the house. And it kind of triggered, well, I suppose the cold as well didn't help. It kind of triggered like my, I don't know, health anxiety, maybe my general anxiety. It could have even been my OCD. I don't know. It triggered one of my many mental health problems. I don't know which one it triggered, but it did. So I came home from work and despite feeling like someone had filled me full of all sorts of pus and rocks and goodness knows what else, like literally it was horrible, it was awful. Despite feeling like that, I came home and I got to cleaning. I went full scale, so I cleared off the sink because apparently in this house you wash up, you leave it on the draining board and you don't dry it up and you don't put it away. So I cleared the draining board of all the leftover washed up dishes, put them back to rewash because I weren't putting them away after potentially flies had crawled all over them. Ugh, no. Then I gave the sink a good wipe down with just some washing up liquid. Then I sprayed it with the bathroom antibacterial and limescale remover because I tell you what, if you don't dry your dishes up that quick, especially in hard water areas, you end up with a limescale outline of your knives and forks and your plates and your cups and things. So you can literally see where the washing up has been on our draining board if you just leave it to dry on the draining board. It's crazy. So I gave the sink a good scrub down with that before I got anywhere near doing the washing up. So this sink was pristine. It was extremely clean. And I got to washing up. Now there are a few newbies here, a few new people to the channel. Welcome to you all. So obviously I'm getting a few questions that I've answered before, but obviously those new people probably haven't seen those particular videos yet. So I am going to recover a few of those regularly asked questions in this video. So if you've heard them before, then this is going to be a recap, and if you've not heard them before, it's going to be new information. Alright, so one of the things I get asked an awful lot is, why don't you rinse your dishes afterwards? Because it's going to taste like soap, it could make you ill, a whole host of questions as to why I don't rinse. So, Here is your answer. Why do I not rinse my dishes? Firstly, I have one sink, one draining board. If I was to constantly allow the tap to run, my sink would overflow. And that would just be a big, big mess. Also, there would be no way of controlling the water temperature in the sink because one tap would be running constantly, either the hot or the cold. And that would cause one or two small issues with how comfortable it would make washing up. Another problem I have got is, well, it's not really a problem. Another reason why I don't do it is because I'm 42 now. My entire life, I've never rinsed. My parents never rinsed. My grandparents never rinsed. And I have survived this long. It's not made me ill. It's had no adverse effects on the taste of food or anything like that. So I'm kind of of the mentality now that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I notice no difference between rinsed and unrinsed washing up in how it affects the taste of the food or anything like that. And like I say, it's never made me or any of my family sick. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Also, the kind of last reason, I know some people have said get like a washing up bowl, and then you can have the washing up bowl to do your washing up in, and you can rinse stuff under the tap and it will just freely drain down the plug and not go into your washing up bowl. That's a great idea if I wanted to rinse. But it just seems to me like an epic waste of water. It really does, because you're rinsing that plate off and you constantly... So I wash up, run the tap, and it rinses off the soap suds. All that water just goes straight down the drain. It just seems like a total waste. When you put stuff on the draining board, it drains the soap suds. Like, if you were to literally take this video footage and speed it up, you would actually see all the soap suds quickly sinking to the bottom, ending up on the draining board and then running back into the sink. It's only because this is happening mildly sped up. You're not seeing it that well. But honestly, if you take the footage and do speed it up, you will see all those soap suds running off. So if the soap suds are running off anyway, I don't really need to rinse. Plus, when you dry up, you take your tea towel and you wipe the soap suds off anyway. So technically you're doing like a dry rinse. And that, in a nutshell, a very big nutshell, is why I don't rinse my dishes. It just seems totally pointless because it doesn't make it. It's not made anyone ill. I could see if you were using like a high amount, like a high concentrate of washing up liquid, how that might cause problems. But if you're using just a small amount like you're supposed to, there's not really that much residue left on your dishes anyway. So yeah, like I said, that in a nutshell is why I don't bother. It's not made anyone sick ever in this house or the houses of my families. And really, no, you don't taste the difference. You really don't. So yeah, there you go. That's why I don't rinse. So now we've covered that regularly asked questions, let's move on to cleaning my cooker hob. This isn't that dirty this week, but for some reason this back ring, we use it more regularly, or Dell uses it more regularly, and it kind of has got like a heat mark. Like, it's not really dirt, but it's kind of changed the colour of the glass. So I'm going to take some pink stuff paste and we're going to give it a good scrub and get any of the dirt off and just try and get rid of that burn mark on the glass there. Now, I know a lot of people say don't use abrasives on the glass hobs, and that's really good advice. However, I've never found pink stuff paste to be a big problem. It's always been fine. Do check with your own, like, cooker instructions though, because if I go, oh yeah, pink stuff paste is fine for you to use, you use it and it breaks your oven, I'm in trouble. So do check with your own like oven instruction manual what you can and can't use on it. But honestly, I've never found an issue. I've always used a Scrub Daddy or something similar and the pink stuff paste to give it a good scrubbing and make sure it's nice and clean. You could tell I got loads of energy. Well, I'm bordering on having not any energy during this video. Like I can't remember if I said earlier or not. I felt this cold coming on and I knew I had to get everything done before it took hold. So yeah, I was going to town. One of the things we always forget when we're cleaning is these little oven handles. The amount of food that lands on there. And we always forget to give it a wipe and a clean off. And even though I'm specifically doing the handles, did you notice? I didn't do the ones at the bottom. For some reason, the handles on the oven are a complete blind spot for every single person in this house. I don't know why. I really don't. Okay, so cleaning the oven. I don't want to clean the oven ever. I hate cleaning the inside of the oven. I'm thinking we do need to buy a new oven because the range, or that big oven we've got, that one, the door doesn't work properly on it. Well, obviously it shuts, but it doesn't seal properly. So it doesn't get to temperature as well. We can't use one side of it because the door doesn't open because of where the wall and the handle are. So we can't use it anyway. So yeah, I want to get a new smaller oven. And then I'm thinking I'm just going to pay someone to come out every quarter and clean it for me so I don't have to. Because honestly, it is one of those jobs that I feel life is far too short to be bothering to do. Unfortunately, it does need to be done. I just don't have the patience for it. I'm happy to clean my shelves. I like doing that. But I hate cleaning the actual oven. Because the door opens downwards. Does it open downwards or outwards? Door opens downwards. And you can't... I've then got to stretch to reach over the oven door to get into the oven to clean it. It's just so impractical, so uncomfortable. Why don't they make oven doors open sideways so you can get yourself right in to clean them? I think that's something I'm going to look for on our next oven. That it opens sideways door so I can get right in and clean it. Although it won't matter if I'm paying someone to do it for me, will it? But yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to be looking to do. Alright, so that kind of leads me on to another regularly asked question in my videos. It's about having some help with the housework. The regular question I get asked is, why don't your family help? Or do your family ever help with the housework and all the chores you've got to do? If you're working as well, why aren't people doing their bit at home? Well, again, this isn't just a simple, straightforward answer. I think people think when they've asked something like it's a simple answer, they're lazy or I don't want them to. And it's, like I say, it's not that simple. So, why don't they help? Firstly, a lot of the time, yeah, I don't want them to. I genuinely don't. I come home from work and sometimes having a good clean of my own home makes me feel better. I do it at work all day, clean other people's environments. And I love it. Please don't get me wrong, I love it. But I'm cleaning someone else's environment. I then come home to my own environment. And to clean that, it gives me such a sense of self-worth, self-pride, enjoyment, and all those other good, happy hormones that, yeah, I don't always want them to do the housework while I'm out of the house. Sometimes, yes, I do. And if I ask, they will indeed help. They will do exactly what I've asked of them. And there's no problems. Do they ever offer? Yep, they do. Again, but they know I like doing this. They know I like filming for the videos. They know me quite well. And they know that they can offer, they do offer, but they tend not to so much because if someone enjoys doing it, why would you offer? So, yeah. What else is there with them doing their fair share around the house? Because a lot of people see this as unfair. And yeah, sometimes I agree. And sometimes I do get really upset. And sometimes I moan and I gripe and they will pull their weight again. So it's not like they're just sitting around lazy, letting me do everything because they can't be bothered and I have to do it all. Okay, I just want to touch quickly on what I've just put down the sink. So down the sink was a couple of spoonfuls of soda crystals, a capful of the Astonish multi-surface cleaner in zesty lemon, then a whole kettle of boiling water, followed by another capful of zesty lemon, just to make it smell beautiful and fresh. Now, this is the recycling bin, and probably is the reason for why all the flies were coming in. Some things haven't been getting rinsed before they go in the recycling bin, so we've had to clear it out and check it and make sure everything's obviously good before it goes to recycling. But it has left some mess in the bottom of the bin, and I'm pretty sure that is why we're getting the flies in. So, despite my distaste in bleach, I am going to use some bleach in the bins to give them a good clean. 2 of the bins are getting cold water and bleach, because if you use hot water and bleach, it sort of deactivates the active ingredient or something. I don't quite know how it works, but it deactivates something in the bleach and stops it working as well. So 2 of the bins are getting cold water and bleach. One of the bins, the bin that is full for the bin bag for general landfill stuff, that has Unstoppables in it to make it smell nice and fresh. And the Unstoppables have obviously got damp during the course of time and are now stuck to the bottom of the bin. Cold water isn't cutting it, so I do put a kettle of boiling water into one of the bins to melt the Unstoppables, and I clean the bin with that. So that is why I'm using hot water and cold water in different bins. I did have, actually, a bit of a result, because obviously now I have a cold, and I hate the smell of bleach, as I've told you before. Trying to clean these bins with a blocked up nose meant I couldn't smell any of the bleach. It was bliss. I knew I was doing a real good clean. There were going to be no germs, no smells for the flies or other people in the house, and I didn't have to smell any of it. Loved it. I did open the back door and clean the bins right by the back door, so if there was any waft of smell from the bleach, it was going to be very minimal or was going to waft all out of the door, because I can't stomach it. But no, like I said, I didn't smell any of it, and I did use my rubber gloves because there was no way on this earth was I risking getting any bleach smell on my hands. That stuff, it's like TCP. I don't know why, but for some reason, if you try and get the smell of bleach off your hands, it will not come off. Some people have said try using like lemon juice. Lemon juice will get the smell off. I can still smell bleach after I've used lemon on my hands. I don't know if it's psychological, if I really can smell the bleach still, but I can smell bleach. Now, I have been asked, why do I hate the smell so much? What is it that's happened that's caused me to absolutely detest the smell? Because everybody else, or 90% of people, love the smell of bleach. They're like, oh, it smells so clean and so fresh. Yeah, to you guys it does. I fully understand that. I don't know why I hate the smell. I don't mind going into like swimming pools. Now, I know chlorine and bleach are slightly different or completely different. It's a kind of a similar smell, but it's a different smell. And I don't mind swimming pool smell. In fact, I wouldn't go so far as to say as I like it, but it's one of the smells that, I'm kind of like, I get to have fun, I get to, like, I'm on holiday kind of thing. That's the sort of thing it reminds me of. Bleach, however, why I don't like the smell, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it reminds me of something else I don't like, but yeah. I can't be dealing with it. Honestly, it makes me sick to my stomach. When I go into cleaning places and they've used bleach as well, I'm like, I can't do it. I have to use other cleaning sprays to hide the smell. Sorry, I couldn't stop that yawn then. Oh, it was coming and I could not stop it. This is cold. Honestly, I'm really not sleeping very well. I am awake. I've had one good night's sleep since this cold started, and it was nearly a week ago this cold started. Like I say, one good night's sleep really is starting to take its toll on me. It also seems to be one of those colds that comes back with a vengeance. So you get the cold and you do the couple of days where you feel really ugh, And then you start to feel better and you start to pick up and you think, yay, it's passing. I'm going to be okay. And then just before it goes, it comes back. And it reminds you just how miserable it can make you feel. And then it will go away. Well, today it's back. It's come back and it's brought its friends with it. I feel awful this morning. While I'm doing this voiceover, like I say, I've barely slept at all. I went to bed at 9, I think. Finally managed to go off about 10, 11 properly. Like, you kind of doze, don't you? So I kind of catnap. But about 10, 11 o'clock I went off properly. By 1 o'clock I was wide awake again. I have managed to sort of drift back off for maybe 10, 15 minutes at a time. But yeah, awful night's sleep. Awful. I can't breathe through my nose most of the time. My throat feels scratchy and dry. All my joints are hurting again. All my muscles feel like they're full of lead. My head feels quite clear though. So my sinuses are clearing, which is a bonus. But in true me fashion, my ears are gunging up, which means I'm about to go temporarily almost deaf. It's a nightmare. It's about this time that everyone in the house decides they need to talk to me in hushed and reverent tones, or mutter and mumble horrendously so I can't hear a word clearly. Or they will leave the room and then decide that they can have a normal conversation with me 3 rooms away. And I'm sitting on the sofa. What? The last time I had a cold and my ears, they fill with wax. It's not my eustachian tubes filling full of like mucus or whatever. It's my ears fill with wax when I get cold. I don't know why or how, but yeah, they fill with wax. The last time it happened, I had to go get my ears syringed because they would not clear. And the telly was that loud when I came back. I felt sorry for my neighbours because I could not hear a word. I had to have the subtitles on and the telly was cranked right up. I'm surprised it didn't shake the foundations or the plaster off the wall. It was horrendously loud. And yeah, it's happening again. So like I say, it's about time for the family to start wandering around going, and they're getting the ump with me when I go, what? Oh, don't you ever listen? Yes, I do, but I'm deaf. Temporarily deaf, I can't hear you that well. You're going to have to talk to me clearer. Yeah, I think I become a little less tolerant when I'm ill. I think we all do. At the end of the day, you're already uncomfortable. Then life happens, just general things, and makes you a little bit more uncomfortable, and you just can't stomach that little bit more uncomfortable. It makes you a bit ratty and a bit cranky. So yeah, I'm not the friendliest person at the minute. I'm not cruel, just not that friendly at the minute. I'll be fine. I'll get over it. I'll have some herbal teas. I'm drinking at the moment lemon, ginger, manuka honey. And I've got one, I think it's by Twinings or Twinnings, however you say it. It's an immune boosting tea. It's kind of red in colour and it's gorgeous. I've been drinking that as well to try and clear whatever this is. Alyssa and Craig, pretty much already over it. I think it's affecting me a bit longer because I'm not as healthy and I'm not as young as I used to be. I can't fight the illnesses off as good as I used to. That and I've never been great really. If I've got a cold, I've been one to drag it out. Most people start feeling better after sort of day 2 or 3 because that's normal. I kind of wallow in the self-pity of being ill for about a week. And then only when it stops sounding congesty and I can hear again, I'm like, right, okay, the cold's over, I feel better. So, yeah, if I'm even remotely ill, I will be ill. I have to feel 100% better to be better. Whereas other people are like, oh, I feel better today. I feel better today. and they slowly improve. I'm very much an all or nothing type of person. I am with pretty much everything in life. It may well be another reason why I do everything around the house and don't. I say I don't let my family help. It's their home too. If they choose to help when I've not asked them, of course they can help. But I think maybe that's another reason why I don't freely allow them to help. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's because I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I will either be doing all the housework because that's what I do, or I will do none of the housework and that's when they can help. But I like to do it all. It's all or nothing, and that's just who I am. It's like when people say, oh, I'm not a very neat, tidy person. And they're happy to live like that. They're not very neat and tidy. They're not filthy, dirty animals, but they're not neat, tidy people. And then there's people out there that are the other end of the spectrum that are absolutely militant with keeping things clean and tidy and smelling fresh. That's just who you are. That's just the way you're wired. And for me, with the all or nothing personality, it's just the way I'm wired. No, it doesn't bother me. Sometimes it does, but no. For general, it doesn't bother me. And I just get on with it because it's who I am. It's what I do. So that is 2 of the most regularly asked questions answered. First one, why I don't rinse my dishes. And secondly, why my family don't help me. Now, there are a few more regularly asked questions that we'll probably get to as we move through the video. For now, though, I do want to touch on the kitchen being redecorated. We still don't know when that's happening. We were supposed to have a surveyor out who was going to come and assess it all, and, well, they didn't show up, did they? They were supposed to come last year, and they didn't show up. They were supposed to come this year, and they didn't show up. So inconvenient. We will not be redecorating this kitchen until it has been refitted, because it's totally pointless. If we redecorate it and they refit it, we're going to have to redecorate it, and I'm not doing that again. So it will stay this way until we get it refitted. Now, it's practical. Everything works in here. It's not efficient, and it's not very aesthetically pleasing by a long chalk, but it works. We could cook food in here, we could do our laundry in here, and you can make a coffee in here. All you really need out of a kitchen, isn't it? Keeps your head dry. You can make food, drink, and do your laundry. I know some of you lucky folk out there have a separate laundry room, and believe me when I tell you, I would love a laundry room, a separate laundry room. We have thought about extending the kitchen because the back wall behind the cooker, there is an outside toilet behind that wall. We don't use it, and we were thinking on knocking through and extending the kitchen. Now, obviously, that's going to cost us a pretty penny, and is not something we can readily afford right now. Be something we could probably do in the future, but not something we can readily afford right now. And maybe once we've done that, we can have a little area for laundry specifically. I don't know. I don't know how this layout's going to be, but obviously, being housing association tenants, we need permission to do anything structural to the property. So for now, the house kitchen layout is going to stay how it is. Oh, that leads me to question number 3 on the regularly asked questions. And that is, why don't we move the tumble dryer out of the kitchen and put it into a different room? Firstly, we have had that done before. We've had the tumble dryer in our bedroom. We've had the tumble dryer at the top of the stairs, I think, at one point. We've had it in the dining room, and we've had it in the living room. We've had it in the cupboard under the stairs. It has done the rounds of the house. However, it is mighty darn inconvenient to grab all the laundry from around the house, wash it in the kitchen, take it from the kitchen back around the house to wherever it is, especially when it's upstairs. That was awful. Run it to whatever room in the house the tumble dryer's in to dry it, to then fold it and put it away. Like, the laundry is travelling more than I do at this point. So having the tumble dryer in the kitchen is just the most convenient place for it. And yes, that does mean the fridge has to go up on the side and we lose counter space. But for the convenience of having the tumble dryer close to the washing machine, we put up with it. It might change in future. Who knows? I don't know. But that is question number 3. Why don't you move your tumble dryer? Then you can have your fridge under the counter. It's so much more convenient there. And like I say, I don't want my laundry travelling more than I do. The bin, it's a cliche, I know, but it's true. The bin goes out more than I do, and the laundry travels more than I do if I have the tumble dryer in the wrong room. I'm actually jealous of my housework chores. They get more entertainment than I do. Now, we're upstairs in Craig's room. This is going to lead me to question number 4. Why do you clean your kids' rooms? They aren't children anymore. Then they're not. Craig is 17 and Alyssa is 20. They are basically adults. Craig is a young adult. And Alyssa, I mean, at 21, she becomes an adult in pretty much every country in the world over. So no, they are not small children anymore. So why do I still clean their rooms and not make them do it themselves? There's a couple of reasons. Again, it's not just as simple as one answer. Firstly, when I was growing up, we grew up in a way that we were scared to make any mess. There's many reasons for that I'm not particularly going to go into on this channel or at this time, because we're going to go off into a real tangent about my life story. So growing up, we weren't really allowed to make any mess. And I want my kids to feel relaxed at home, to feel free to be who they are and express themselves and just relax. I don't want them standing on show or whatever the word is I'm trying to find. So that's one reason. Reason number 2 is I want them to be able to go and have a life. If they're coming home from college or work and the first thing they've got to then worry about is cleaning up their bedrooms and their space, you know, it's pretty much my life. I go to work, I come home, I clean. I go to work, I come home, I clean. And that was my life growing up as well. I know when my children get older and move out, they have kids of their own, they have a house of their own. It's going to kick in for them too. They're going to go to work, they're going to come home, they're going to clean. So there's plenty of time for that to happen. Right now, I want my kids and my teenage children, my adult children, to be able to enjoy their lives and experience the joy of having money from work. Or, I mean, Craig doesn't have money yet, he doesn't work, he's at college still, but Alyssa, I want her to experience having money, having friends, being able to go out and enjoy herself and have a social life. So once she has children or, she does anything like that, she's got a life story to tell people. This has been my life since I was a child. Go to work or school, come home, clean. Do as I was told. I don't want that for my children, so they don't do it. Do they ever clean their own rooms? Yes, they do. If I ask them to, they will. I choose not to ask them to. Aren't you worried you're going to make them lazy? They need to learn their lessons now so they know how to look after themselves in future. They know. My children know. I have taught them how to make their beds. I've taught them how to dust. I've taught them how to hoover, how to empty their bins. They know how to keep their space clean. They know. Alyssa does it for a living. And I suspect Craig will probably end up doing it for a living at some point too, before he moves into his actual career, which is what he's studying at college for. So they know. No, I am not concerned that my children are going to grow up to be lazy human beings who can't be bothered to clean their environments, because I did it when they were younger. They know how to do it. I also, when I started to first live on my own, took full advantage of the fact that no one was around to nag me to clean and moan. So when I left home, despite being one of those children that lives in a house that was always go and clean your room, keep your room clean, keep your room clean, keep your space clean, take pride in yourself, blah, blah, blah. Despite being one of those children raised that way, when I moved out and got my own kind of space, my own kind of area, I was like, wow, I can relax. I don't have to do this anymore. And actually, I became messier because I was too clean and too tidy as a child. Now, is that the way it's going to work for everybody? No, of course it's not. But it is the way it worked for me. So it doesn't always follow that if you raise your children to keep their rooms clean, to keep their house clean and keep everything clean and tidy, that they're going to grow up to be neat, clean and tidy adults. For the longest time, I wasn't. For the longest time, my house was awful. Because, like I say, I had the freedom to not bother about it. No one cared, so why did I need to? So, it doesn't always follow. They know how to do it. They have been taught the skills. I choose to do this. Now, Alyssa's room is a big bone of contention for a lot of people because here she is. It's both our day. We share similar days off. We both have Thursdays off. She is laying on her bed. She's playing on her phone. I think whatever game she's playing. And she's writing a list out for me for work to help me with my vans at work. And I'm cleaning her room. A lot of people view this as her being lazy, of her being entitled, and of her being extremely rude and inconsiderate of my feelings, because this is my day off too. Why do I not get to lay on my phone and do exactly as I please? Well, again, we visit the fact that I have an all or nothing personality and that this is something I want to do. I want to clean my whole house. I like doing this. This is fun for me. This is what I want to do on my day off. So no one has made me do this. I am not being forced to do this because the house is disgusting and I'm like, Urgh. I want to do this. Secondly, like I said before, I want her to enjoy her time off. I want her to feel relaxed and free to express herself and do whatever she wants. So I'm happy to do it. I'm getting great enjoyment out of this. I love it. And she gets to relax and spend a day off in a clean room. Everyone wins. Now, had I have said to her, Alyssa, come on, clean this place up. It's a pit. She'd have got up and done it. I mean, eventually. She's a bit like me. She's a bit slow on the uptake. It takes her a while to warm up and get moving. But she'd have done it. She'd have tidied her room up and got it done. I am choosing, and I want to make this very clear, choosing not to ask them to do it because I enjoy it. So, yeah, that is why I clean my adults' children's rooms. Even when the... Sorry, excuse the dog. A tractor went past and it's now early enough in the morning, apparently, for him to get excited by it. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock, but because I'm conscious now, he needs to warn me that tractors have gone past the house. Yeah, we live in the countryside. Tractors go past the house 24/7. It's just enough now, dog. Anyway, yeah, so that is why I clean my adult children's rooms. Yeah, I have no fear that they're going to grow up to be lazy, slovenly, messy people. It's fine. They know what they're doing. And when they move into their own spaces, there'll be no one to do it for them. And they will do it. And I kind of think as well that because they've had life and times, they won't be resentful because they got to experience their childhoods. They got to experience their teenage years and that fun and that freedom. And they knew I was going to be here to take care of it for them. And like I say, I want to reiterate again, I enjoy doing it. Okay, so I think we're on to question number 5 now. And that revolves around storage in Alyssa's room. Why don't we move things around? Why don't we have different storage? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Okay, firstly, Alyssa's room wasn't set up this way. All the storage that was brought for her room was set up a different way originally and worked perfectly. It was amazingly perfect. Everything was like measured to fit the space and everything had its own space and it was brilliant. It worked so well. Then the builders came and they changed everything around in Alyssa's room, so now nothing fits where it was originally supposed to go, and It's awful. None of it works. Now, what that does mean is we're going to have to redecorate her room and rebuy the furniture and stuff. Now, people have said, like, she's got to the left of your screen, she's got two little chests of drawers, two tiny little, they're actually bedside cabinets because that's what they originally were. Bedside cabinets. Her bed went here and she had one of those tiny little drawers either side of her bed. It was brilliant. It was a bedside cabinet. People have said, why don't we stack those and make those one tall unit? Well, as you can see, she's got her Xbox and her telly on top of there. And if we stack the units, then they become unstable, they wobble, and that's going to fall off and smash, and that's, yeah, not very good. Also, like I said, if we stack the units, they become unstable, they wobble, and it's probably going to fall off and cause someone an injury. So, no. Oh, the camera's zooming in and out again. Yeah, that's fun. So, yeah, that's why we don't stack those units. Someone said about stacking them on top of the chest of drawers. Well, you can see with Alyssa standing on top of her bed, not on the chest of drawers, the wardrobe. With Alyssa standing on her bed, to get into those little drawer units, she's going to have to stand on her bed every single time. Not practical. Not practical at all. Could we move her wardrobe? No. That's the only place her wardrobe will go where the doors will be able to open and close. The tall unit to the right of her bed, could we stack that on the littler units? No, again, that would make things unstable. It would fall down. The units are slightly different size. The two bedside tables are exactly the same size, but that tall unit to the right of her bed is a slightly different shape and size to the two bedside tables. So, no, we can't stack that on there. So literally how this room is laid out is the only way we can have it laid out. We could take the black shelf at the bottom of her bed and get rid of it, but that's the only thing we could do. If we put anything at the bottom of her bed, you then can't get round the side of the bed, the left-hand side of the bed, because of the way the wall juts out. You need a big enough gap to be able to walk down the bottom of the bed to get out the side of it. So that black unit is the only thing that can go there. Behind me obviously is the wall that joins our room. That's got the radiator on it. Nothing can go on that wall because you've got the door that opens, which is going to be on the right of your screens. You can't see it, but it is on the right of your screens. The door opens into her room there, and you've got the cupboard for the boiler to the left of your screens with a big door on it that opens there. So nothing can go on the back wall of her room because the doors are in the way. So this literally is the only configuration we can have for her room at the minute. Could we wall mount her telly? Yeah, we could wall mount her telly, but you can't, as far as I know, wall mount an Xbox. And even if we could wall mount the Xbox, she's got all her picture frames up where she wanted them when we originally did her room because everything worked and it was perfect. On the wall that she's looking at on the left of your screens, she's got pictures of her friends, of her beloved Jake, little cat Jake, and all sorts of other memories. We could move everything around, but then she's going to have to replan where she wants everything, and that's just really a pain in the bottom that we don't need right now. Plus, I'm going to have to save for a whole load of new furniture for the room. The stuff we've already got in here is already past its best anyway. We did her room on a budget because we always knew that her room was going to be done, and then as soon as we did it, the heating people were going to turn up to change it all round. We knew it was going to happen. They've been planning to do the heating for years and years and years, and they kept cancelling. And I was like, I know the day I start fixing up this house, they're going to come and they're going to start doing all the changes and repairs. And I wasn't wrong. So the furniture we brought for her room was practical, and it wasn't like the cheapest cheap I could get, but it wasn't the most expensive, and it wasn't the best perfect for her room. So I do need to resave, and I do need to buy new stuff that's more practical, that works in her room and works in the new space that we have been given. People have said about getting one of those beds with like the lift up mattress thing, so you can get storage under the bed. Yeah, that wouldn't work. I know practically that wouldn't work. Those beds are great for stuff like if you're storing for long term. But if you're going under there for clothes daily or for things daily, I don't think practically it really works. And it certainly isn't going to practically work for Alyssa. So, yeah, we won't be getting one of those beds. But we will figure out her storage situation. We will arrange her room. She has got totes under the bed with stuff in them. But given that there's tiny gaps either side of the wall, those totes are very impractical to get to. But we have got plans in place. We are going to sort it. It'll probably be next year now because obviously we're halfway through the year. And we're gearing round towards starting to save and get bits in ready for Christmas. So I don't think there's going to be any more massive redecoration projects after the hallway this year. It'll probably be a next year job now. Who knows? We might get it done this year, but we shall see. Anyway, that is, I think, question number 5. Why do we not sort out her storage space in her room? Because if people think if she had more storage space, she would look after her room better. She did. When we first redid her room, she really took care of it. And since we moaned at her, she has taken care of it. She's just got a lot of stuff, and she likes to have her stuff out. For her, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind and she forgets about it. So she ends up with just loads of stuff cluttered around her room because if I put it away, she forgets she's got it and will buy more. So her stuff has to stay out of her visually. So she remembers it's there. It's the hardest thing to explain. But it's just the way she is. It's just the way she's wired. She needs to see what she's got to know she has it. Otherwise, her impulse is to go and buy more. Which, it's fine. It's why we're having a big clear out of food. We're doing a bit of a declutter in her room today. Not a big one, because for Alyssa, decluttering is hard. She's kind of a bit like her dad. She likes to hold on to stuff, and it takes a lot for her to get rid of some things. But we're going to go through her food, because again, if she doesn't see it, she forgets she's got it, and she goes and buys more food. My habit is to put it all away, so I've set her up a little snack drawer down here of all her snacky little bits. And of course, she's forgotten it's in there, so hasn't bothered eating it. And some of it's not gone mouldy, but it has gone past its best. If it had gone mouldy, I'd have taken it out and thrown it away ages ago. But it is her stuff. She does spend her money on it, so I have no right throwing it away without checking with her first. So it did go in her snack drawer. She forgot it was there. She's brought more stuff, and now we're just going to go through and clear out anything that's past its best or isn't needed anymore. If it was stuff like that chocolate bar, or stuff that was good, that could be kept, that she didn't want, that's been donated to other members of the family and will be enjoyed at our leisure at a later time. We had a lovely family trip to Great Yarmouth on Saturday, 14th, just before Father's Day. Alyssa wanted to take Dell for Father's Day as well, and we kind of wanted to go anyway, so yeah, we thought we'd just go for a nice trip. I had to get some pictures of the kids. There was a whole day out, the whole thing. While we were there, Jaden and Alyssa stopped in a shop and you could get a random box or a random bag of something. And it had random things in it. So they got this box. And one of the things that came was this dress. I tried to put it on. I couldn't even get my arms in. There was no way it was going on. And Alyssa was like, well, just keep it. You know, I might fit it. And I was like, there is no way on this earth you can fit that dress. It's a child's small. Like, it is tiny. It's probably designed for maybe a 10, possibly an 11-year-old. And you are 20. There's no way it's going to fit you. No. She was very adamant that she wanted to keep it. Because, again, it's Alyssa. She likes to keep things. I did tell her that if she could get it over her head, she could keep it if she wanted to. However, that didn't go very well. She has conceded, I think we all have now, that the beloved baby cat might not be returning home. We've been missing baby cat now since the 16th of April. 3 a.m. on the 16th of April, baby cat went missing. And we are now June, or are we even July now? January, February, March, April, May, June. We're June. It's been over a month. It's been about 6-8 weeks since baby cat went missing. We are starting to feel the dread that baby cat may never return home. And having all the stuff out on the side is kind of just this daily reminder that baby cat isn't here. So I was like, let's just clear it away. If baby cat comes back, we're not throwing it away. We can keep it, you know. And if baby cat does come back, then we can get it all out of storage. Absolutely fine. It's not a problem. But if we could just get it put away, it will stop that agonising reminder every day that she's not here. And she's likely never going to be again. I don't want to hit that realisation that that's the case, but we have to live in the really real world, don't we? And if it's been 6 to 8 weeks, the likelihood is she won't return. Cats do, but the more time that goes on, the less chance there is she will come back to us. And with Jake as well, obviously Jake, he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. He got poorly and he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. We know where Jake is. We know he's safe and warm and playing in the clouds. But again, it's just another reminder that happened. You know, you've got an empty cat tree and you've got empty cat toys. And it's just a reminder that they're gone. We don't need that. Not right now. So, yeah, she did agree to let me put the stuff away. So we're going to clear out baby cat's things. And it's not admitting defeat. It's not saying, you know, she isn't ever coming home. It's just saying that, you know, we don't need daily reminders she's not here right now. We still hope she does return home. But, yeah, we don't need the daily reminders that she isn't home yet. So we're going to put it all away and hopefully start the process of healing. And just keep hoping that one day the cat flap goes to-dunk and her little tinkly bell comes trotting through. Anyway, let's move off the sad subject, shall we? And move on to the fun hilarity of this dress. Now, like I said before, I told her if she could get it over her head, she could keep it. She was up for that challenge. I then realised there was a zipper on the flaming thing. I never realised that. If I'd have realised, I might have been able to get it over my head. But she found the zipper, and I instantly thought, rot roll. She's found the zipper. That means she's going to manage to get it over her head, and I'm going to have to let her keep it. How silly of me. I needn't have worried though. Like I said, this dress is designed for maybe a 10 or an 11-year-old child. That was it. She couldn't get it further than that, and she couldn't put her hands down either. She was wedged in, but she was determined to get this dress on properly. And, yeah. Oh, We was wrestling for ages. We couldn't work out what part of the dress was like... You know, with some clothes, you can't work out which bit goes where. Like, there's liners and there's pockets and there's frilly bits and twiddly bits. This dress is the same. It's got like a drapey neck on it. And it was a nightmare. We literally ripped the side of it trying to get it down. So there was no way she could keep it. I then just said to her, there you go. Oh, she wanted me to do the zip up. And yeah, that there was no way on this earth that was happening. She looked like the Hulk. Like, she'd ripped through. It was awful. It gave us a good laugh, though. I mean, she's a happy little superstar, that one. She has got one hell of a character, this kid, I tell you. She's definitely an amazing little kid, that one. She's not so much a kid anymore, like I say, 20-year-old now. She's an amazing young adult. I am really proud of her. And this is what I mean when I say earlier about just because she don't clean her own room, is she going to grow up to be a lazy, disgusting adult? No. My kid's already a young adult and she's not a lazy, disgusting person. She's just not. She's got a good work ethic. She's got pride in herself. She knows her core values. She knows what's important to her. She knows how to I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But you know what I'm trying to say without me saying it. She's a good all-round kid. Can she be a pain in my backside? Absolutely. But I think all children were sent to test their parents to some degree or another. And Alyssa does. Me and Alyssa, we quite often clash. Not so much anymore. We used to all the time, though. I used to be forever messaging my sister. How do I cope with this kid? I don't know how to cope with this child. Like, she would test me. She'd push my buttons. She would drive me to distraction. Like, I could not cope with her at all. Now, though, yeah, she's a great kid. I can often find myself, honestly, going to her for advice, all sorts. We go out together. Like, we've been out clubbing, we've been out for lunch and coffee and stuff like that. I even said to her the other day, she's like one of my best friends. And like with best friends, do you get on all the time with your best friend? No, you don't. Does sometimes your best friend really test your patience to the point you just want to disown them? Yep, they do. Because we're only human, you're not supposed to get on with other people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, especially if you live with them. And, yeah, sometimes me and Alyssa don't get on, but 99% of the time now, we do. I tried to make her bed while she was still laid on it. That didn't go well. She wasn't happy with this plan, so she decided she was going to instruct me on how to make her bed properly. That's where that mirror went. Oh, at least I've answered that question. Yeah, she likes her bed made a certain way. Now, normally I make her bed a certain way, and she never complains if I don't make it a certain way. I'm the same, though. I like my bed made a certain way. Now, if someone makes it different, obviously you're just like, yeah, thank you for making the bed. But I do like it made a certain way. So while she was here, she was like, I'll help you make my bed the way I like it. And yeah, like I say, normally I'd make it the way she likes it. I know how she likes it. But I was trying to do it while she was laid on it. And I couldn't do it the way I would normally do it because she was laid on it. So she did get up and help me. See? And you see how we move in perfect unison? We know exactly what we're doing at exactly the same time. Because she knows what she's doing. This is choice. Once again, it is choice. I want my kids to do the things they're doing. And I like to do the things I am doing. I'll come back and hoover your room. Some point later. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was terrible aim. A kiss better. they love me? I a terrible mummy. I proper heard the remote dunk when it hit her knuckles, so it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. But, you know, my aim's just terrible. I didn't aim for her knuckles. It was literally meant to bounce in front of her and be like right there for her to grab. I don't know, it bounced wrong. Alright, on to our room. Now, you won't see me changing the bed linen often in these videos because I do that on either a Friday or a Saturday, depending on which room and who it belongs to. Like, our room gets done on Friday because I like to enjoy it over the weekend if I'm not working. So yeah, it's not done on a Thursday. I've only got so many hours in a Thursday and I've got a lot to get done. So I choose not to do the bedding on my full house clean day. It's a good job because Woody came in. Why are you scared? What happened? What happened? Why are you frightened?
Fell up the stairs.
He was running before then, that's why he fell up the stairs. Something frightened him, he spooked and ran up the stairs. Come on, you're going to have to get off. I'm in the middle of making the bed. No, off. You can hide on the bed when I'm done. Or go and hide in Craig's room for now until I'm finished. No, you're going to hide with me. Is it safer, is it? It won't be long. We still don't know what spooked Woody. No idea. It could have been his shadow. Could have been his own foot for all we know. He could be quite a nervy dog, which is weird because nothing's ever really happened to him here that would make him nervy. I think he's always just been a nervy puppy. But yeah, something spooked him and he bolted. He went to run up the stairs, missed his footing, and we actually heard the f-dunk as he missed his footing, and then he came scared into the bedroom to hide. Don't know why. Yeah, did you hear him grumbling in the background? He knows I'm talking about him. He's a sweet little fella. You can come hide again. Better? Feel safe now? Won't be able to Febreze the bed, but hey, at least you feel safe. That came out a tad more sarcastic and cruel than I intended it to. Poor puppy. Like I say, I don't know what scared him. I don't know what got to him. It could have been anything. He hears more than we do. He smells more than we do. It could have been anything. He is a very nervy dog, like I say. I think it's just him. It's just the way he is. You silly puppy. But yeah, if I had changed the bed linen on this day, he'd have covered it in hair already. Mind you, to be fair, that's any day. I changed the bed linen and within half an hour it's covered in dog hair. It's something we get used to. That's another thing, actually, people have, not a question, but people have moaned about. And that's letting the dog sleep on the bed and the sofas and things like that. They're like, they don't agree with it. They think it's germy and dirty and unhygienic and all that. I mean, firstly, we live with him. And he's in the house 24/7. So the germs are going to be in the house no matter where he sleeps. You know? He gives kisses. If there's any if there's going to be any germ transfer, it's going to be when he gives kisses. You know, we bath the dog, so he's literally sharing the bathtub with us. Of course, it's cleaned between the two, but he's literally sharing the bathtub with us. You know, he lives with us. Any germs the dog's got, we've probably got too, and vice versa. You know, I think it's a little bit... I understand why some people prefer not to have their dogs on the furniture, because, like, you do get covered in dog hair. But I don't think it's as dramatic as a lot of people make out. That I think there's a lot of people making big deals out of tiny things. And the dog on the bed and the dog on the sofa, to me, are just so tiny and insignificant. It's not worth worrying about. The only time I worry about it really is in like the winter, when he gets muddy and dirty, and then we come in for a walk, and if we forgot to shut the bedroom door, he'll charge straight upstairs after his walk, jump on the bed, covered in dirt and muck and yuck, and then I have to go upstairs and sort the mess out because I forgot to shut the bedroom door. We're working on that actually though. We're gonna get like a small area out the back garden, so when he comes home from a walk, a winter walk, he could go straight out in the back garden area, dry off out there, or even be rinsed off out there. Then he could come back in, and then he could go make himself at home on the bed upstairs. I may even get him a crate downstairs with a bed in it, so he's got somewhere comfortable to dry off downstairs inside. I know a lot of people are very aversive to crates. Me personally, I kind of liken it to a baby having a cot or a bassinet. You need to keep the baby, especially when they're like toddlers, they're just starting to, move about and get around themselves. They need a cot. If your toddler wakes up in the middle of the night and they don't wake you up, they could get into stuff that could really hurt them if they're allowed to free roam around their room before they're old enough to understand what things can and can't do. And it's the same for a dog. I mean, if he smells something yummy, he doesn't know if it's bad for him or not. He's just going to eat it. Or dogs that chew. They might hurt themselves if they chew. It's just so much better for the dog to have their own space and they stay safe. And people have said, like, in the event of a fire, though, is it a good idea because, they can't escape? Actually, in the event of a fire, it's probably better because the fire brigade can come in and your dog might be absolutely terrified and the fire brigade are going to try and have to corral the dog, get hold of it and get it outside. They ain't got time for that. Your dog could get itself in way more trouble and danger because it's trying to run away from the big scary men in the fireman outfits. Sorry, men and women in the fire suits. If it's in the crate, yeah, it's going to be scared, but they wear those great big protective gloves. Most crates have handles on them, so they can literally just pick the whole thing up with your dog in it, carry your dog to safety, bada bing, bada boom, your dog is outside, nice and safe. They didn't have to chase it. Everyone is a winner. The dog stays safe when it's unsupervised. And dogs like dens. They burrow, they get into things. They like to make little dens. If you've got a crate with a blanket draped over it, that's a den. You're mimicking your dog's natural environment. I can't see why so many people are against crates. Now, I'm not saying like leave your dog in a crate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is barbaric. But if they're coming home from a walk and you're like, right, go and have a rest now. Here's your space to dry off. You go in your crate. Or, it's bedtime. Here's your crate. Go to sleep. It's basically a cot. It's a nice safe space where they can be when you are unable to supervise them. Woody doesn't particularly need a crate. Like, we can leave food out. It doesn't matter what we leave out. Woody won't touch it unless he's told explicitly he can. Dale went to give him a Malteser last night, and it was still touching the box of Maltesers. He put it on the bed, and it rolled backwards, and it was still touching the box of Maltesers. And Woody kind of knew Dale was giving it to him, but he was like, you haven't actually said I can have it, and it's still touching your thing, your possessions. I'm not going to eat it. Dale had to pick it up, move it away, and then tell him explicitly he could have that one particular Malteser. And he ate it. And even if you were to give him a big selection of food, like, I don't know, like a whole hamburger, for instance. I don't know if dogs can have hamburgers or not, but if you were to give him that, and he was halfway through eating it, and then you told him to leave it, he would instantly drop it. He'd not eat anymore. He's not one of them dogs you go, leave it, and he bolts it faster so he doesn't have to give it up. He will leave it. Do you know he is a really, really, really outstandingly good dog. The only thing I could, if I could make stop, I would. It's the whining when the tractors go past, that, or aeroplanes go over. That whining he did earlier. I'd stop that in a heartbeat if I could.
with ya. I think I want ya. Think I wanna keep ya. Think I give it all.
Well, we're certainly mixing it up in today's video, aren't we? Normally I start upstairs and work my way down. Today I started in the kitchen, then went upstairs. Now I've come back downstairs again. Well, I'm nothing if not inconsistent. I try and be very consistent, but obviously I started earlier in the week because I thought I was going to lose all my energy, and I did. But it was Thursday yesterday, it was my day off, and thankfully the cold then wasn't too horrendous. It's like I say, it's now 6 o'clock on Friday morning. I've been at this voiceover edit malarkey for 2 hours. And I've lost my train of thought again. Yeah, the cold has come back with a vengeance, so it's a good job I did get as much done as I did yesterday. I take advantage, especially when I'm starting to feel poorly. I take advantage of the days where I feel good, because they're going to be few and far between. What's typical is I've been awake since about 1, 2 o'clock, somewhere in that region. And I have been wide awake, like not able to sleep a wink. Now it's 6 o'clock, my alarm's gone off, it's time for me to get up, get my day going, get ready for work. Now I'm laid down on the sofa and I need a nap. I am so tired, I'm feeling so tired now. It's ridiculous. Why does your body do this to you? Why, as soon as your alarm goes off, is it like, I need to sleep now? I mean, what on earth is that all about? I could do without that today. I need to get through today. Mondays and Fridays typically are our busiest days at work, and I'm going to need all the energy I've got to get through the day, and all the energy I've got would fit in a thimble. There is not a lot of it left at all. This cold has also meant that I'm not eating a lot now. Like, I have no appetite. I just don't want it. I could probably survive on maybe like a small salad bowl for the day. I think the other day I ended up with just like a Snickers bar and a Kinder Bueno bar. That was about all I had all day. I just don't want to eat. There's just no appetite there with this cold. It's ugh. But I am looking after myself. I'm not letting myself slide off too much. But yeah, if you're not hungry, you just don't eat, do you? So yeah, I've not eaten massively, which probably isn't helping my energy levels. But just, trying to eat when there is no appetite there is really difficult. Honestly, I feel like I could just do with a week off. Just a full week off of rest, relaxation, and sleep. Sleep. Yeah, I could do with that. Yeah. Mind you, I say that, I do, and then I go up to bed and my body goes, nah, we don't want to sleep. What you could really do with, what you could really, really get on board with is going downstairs and cracking on with all those jobs you always wanted to get done. You wanted to extend the kitchen. Perhaps you should go downstairs and start on that right now. That's what happens to me. Like, honestly, I swear it feels like I'm always in the wrong place. Like, if I go to work, I'm like, I really should be at home. I should be at home cleaning and editing and uploading and filming and things like that. And then I come home from work and I'm like, I need to be at work to earn more money. I need to be at work. It's like, why are you never in the right place? What is happening to me? But yeah, that's exactly what would happen if I took a week of rest and relaxation. I would not have a week of rest and relaxation. I would have a week of running around getting everything done. Busy, 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 busy. I would go back to work and they'd be like, oh, I really need a week of rest and relaxation. I used to be really good at it. I used to have like my days off from work and I used to just, if I needed rest and relaxation, that's exactly what I'd have. I'd spend a day in bed and just do nothing. I'd eat snacks, I'd watch telly, I'd just relax. Now, yeah, I don't get days off like that. They don't happen anymore. I feel guilty if I do that. Now, can I please just point out that these bin bags of rubbish that I'm picking up here, they aren't just dumped in my dining room. I don't just have a pile of rubbish in my dining room all the time. Those are bags that I've collected from around the house and have brought down. They're the clear out from Melissa's room and everything. So I just thought I'd clarify that before anybody got into the comments and was like, you store rubbish in your dining room, or whatever comments would come across. Just thought I'd put your minds at ease. No, I don't have a pile of rubbish in my dining room. I did, but only because I couldn't carry it all out to the bin. And it's the way I work. I tend to go one room at a time and just sort of move everything into the next room, move everything into the next room, and put it away as I go. Is it the most effective method? Probably not. Have I tried other methods? Yes. Do they work? For me, no. I think it's Clutterbug or someone like that does a video about touch it once. So you pick the item up, you don't put it down again, you put it away. So you only touch the item once and it's put away. There's also a method that I used to use a long time ago, which is basically you have like a box or a bag and you take it room to room with you. Anything in that room that doesn't belong in there goes in the box, and then when you get to the next room, you sort through the box, and anything that belongs in the next room gets taken out of the box and put in that room, and anything that doesn't belong in the room gets put back into the box. And eventually, by the end of it, you've got an empty box and a clean home with everything put away. That is assuming, of course, when you start the whole process, that everything in your home has a place. There's a few problems, but one of the biggest problems with this house is that not everything has a place. There's a lot of stuff just sort of randomly deposited places because not everything has a place, which is something I really, really want to work on. I really want to get everything to have its own place, its own space. I want it all to belong, like with the coat hangers and the clothes hangers and that. I want specific ones for Craig, for Alyssa, for me, for Dell, so we know whose is whose. I want specific ones for trousers, for jumpers, for t-shirts, for strappy tops and things like that, so we know what hanger goes on what. So when you look in your wardrobe, you know that the purple hangers are for jumpers, you know that, and that. And it's just going to make life so much easier to find and do things because everything will have a place and you'll know exactly where it is. Okay, so one of the other things I want to touch on, we did mention the redecoration in the kitchen, is the redecoration of this room. Now, I understand this room looks horrendously bad. I do. I know. The sofas are old, very old and tatty. The lino is at least 13 years old, maybe even more, and has seen its test of time. The wallpaper's all falling apart. It's all been got by the builders as well. This room is a ruin. But there is plans to redo it. They will probably be next year or the year after. I'm not sure. They probably won't be this year, though. I can almost guarantee they won't be this year. But, you know, I never say never. I could just say I pretty much guarantee they won't be done this year. We've done the hallway. I'm slowly working through from the front of the house to the back. Because to me, that's the way it seems most important. Like, I come home from work, I want to see a nice front home, like front garden area. Then when I get in the door, I want to see a nice entryway and smell a nice clean home. Then as I walk through the house, I want to see each room beautiful. If I skip a step, then all of a sudden the front room just becomes horrible again, and it doesn't matter how pretty the rest of the house is. The first impression is the one that lasts, and if your first impression is, oh good grief, your house looks like this, that's not a very good first impression, and I don't want that anymore. I'm tired of not having good first impressions, and I need to make it stop. I tell you what else I need to make it stop as well. This sleepy feeling, wow. I am so tired, so apologies if this audio sounds a little bit off. I literally feel like I'm going to fall asleep right here, right now. I might finish editing this video and have a quick nap before I have to get up and go to work. Oh, that sounds like a beautiful idea. But I bet you, as soon as I put the phone down and I'm like, yeah, go on then, I'll have a nap. I won't actually nap. My brain will suddenly wake me up and be full of the joys of spring and Christmas and Easter and birthday all put together in this one joyous little package of wide awake time. Why did my body not do this about 3 or 4 hours ago? If this feeling had washed over me at about 1 o'clock this morning, I would have been so happy. I'd have been like, yeah, good night. And I would have laid there and snored sweetly throughout the next 5-6 hours. But no, my body decided it didn't want to do that at 1 o'clock this morning. My body decided it would not sit still. I had what I call fidgety feet. So my restless leg syndrome kicked in. I couldn't stop moving my legs. I was rolling over and over and over and over and over like some sort of rotisserie chicken or pig. I couldn't settle. I couldn't get comfortable. Temperature was absolutely perfect. And then I woke up and saw something really creepy. The house over the road, they tend not to have their blinds or curtains closed downstairs once they've gone up to bed. And I always look out the window every night. If I get up to go to the toilet, I will look out the window and see what's going on. I got up, I looked out the window, and I caught out of the corner of my eye what looked like a person stood in the window. And I was like, oh, that's bizarre. So I stopped and I actually looked in the window. Was it a person? Why were they stood staring out the window in such an odd way? It just looked really weird. And it looked like something out of a horror movie. I was that frightened by it. I took a photo of it so I could show Dell when he wakes up. It was so creepy, but I've taken a photo of it. It doesn't look half as creepy in the photo. It turns out it wasn't what I thought I was seeing, but in your half awake state, you kind of see what you think you see, and you don't see what you actually see. So yeah, it was a very creepy, scary, weird, sleepless, restless night. Oh dear, I did just have a nice nap. That was lovely. Only about half an hour, but yeah, that was nice. I still, though, on the day that I'm actually doing the housework, so yesterday, I've still got loads left to do. So much left to do. I've still got the bathroom to do. There's laundry to get through. I've got to go around and hoover the whole house. I don't think I'm going to bother doing that, though. It'll wait till tomorrow or Saturday. I haven't got the energy for it. This cold, seriously, has knocked me sideways. Maybe it was coming the week before because I didn't have a lot of energy then either. Maybe it's trying to eat in a calorie deficit. I'm getting used to not having as much energy as I had before. Because normally I would eat thousands of calories a day, like way too many. Probably about 3 times my actual allowance. And now I'm eating at less than my allowance. It's bound to have an effect on my energy levels until my body recalibrates and works out what on earth it's supposed to do with this fewer calories. I don't know. Maybe it's my mental health calming down and now I'm feeling a bit more relaxed. It could be any number of things, but yeah, I'm awake at night and desperate to sleep during the day. I've turned into a bat. I don't need to be a bat. I need to be a person. I am a person. I want to be a person and I want to sleep all night long through. I actually find, though, days I'm working, I sleep worse than my days off. So if I'm going to have a day at work, I won't sleep well that night. If I'm going to have a day off, oh, I sleep like a dream. I wonder if I'm worried my alarm won't wake me up. I know my alarm will wake me up, and if it doesn't, Dell will wake me up. And if none of them wake me up, then Alyssa goes to work the same day as I do. She'll wake me up. And it honestly, if worse came to worse, I'd get a phone call off of my boss, and she'd be like, "Oh, where are you?" And I'd be like, "I slept through my alarm. I'm on my way in." Nothing bad had happened. I'd just make the hours up at the end of the day. So I don't know why I'm nervous of sleeping through my alarm. Maybe it's just a psychological thing that I don't understand about. I don't know. But it needs to stop. I hate working night shifts. I hate being awake at night. I just want to sleep the night through. There are plenty of time in the day to be awake, or there is plenty of time in the day to be awake. Smile for the mirror. All right, last room. Finally, thankfully, we are through this marathon clean. I've got the bathroom to do. I can't wait to get this room sorted either. But again, when the Housing Association finally upgrade us to a new bathroom suite, that will be when we get this room done. I'm not going to do it before, because I'm going to spend a load of money doing it. They're going to come out, they'll rip all the bathroom out, and then I'll have to redo it. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to keep putting up with my bathroom the way it is until they change the bathroom suite, upgrade us, and then I will do the redecoration. For now, we're just going to put up with it. I hate it though. I thought once I tiled it and I put the shelves up, it looked really nice. But again, it looks great when you first do it, but then over time it gets tired and drab, and you need to upgrade it, you need to replace it, and it's time for that to happen, but I can't do it yet. I can't bring myself to do it yet. Maybe I could take all the tiles off the wall and just give it a quick lick of paint. I don't know. I mean, right now I can't be bothered to do any of it. It's all I can do to get through the day and clean it at the minute with the way I'm feeling. So, yeah, redecoration is not on the list. We do still have the hallway video to come. That should be with you very, very soon. Just doing the finishing touches this weekend, and then the video will be uploaded. Oh, I can't wait for you to see it. I'm so excited. I've had to try it and hide it in all my other videos. Because, like with the full house cleans, I've had to try and hide any evidence of it, so you don't get any little Easter eggs of information or anything like that. And I've been so careful. I hope I have managed to hide it all from you, and you'll get the surprise that I think you'll get. It is an amazing transformation. It looks so much better, so much cleaner, tidier, and nicer. I have been working also on some more videos for way off in the future, so those are to look forward to. Yeah, it has been all go here, which is probably another reason for the absolute exhaustion that I'm feeling. I don't quite know what's going on. I have had blood tests done. They have all come back absolutely normal. There is no problem with my vitamin levels or any of that malarkey. I don't quite understand it. Maybe I'm just pushing myself too hard, but I really don't think I am. Like, I clean my house once a week and I go to work 4 days a week. That doesn't seem like a lot to me. But who knows, maybe for me that's too much. I don't want it to be too much though. I think that's the perfect amount to be doing. But who knows, my body clearly thinks it's too much. Maybe if I could just get into a good sleep pattern. I don't know. It'll all come good in the end. Everything always does. Everything always works out exactly how it's supposed to work out, exactly when it's supposed to work out that way. For now, I'd just be contented if I could breathe through my nose. Like, I literally cannot breathe in through my nose or out through my nose. It is ridiculous. And try to sleep. When I breathe through my nose to sleep, and breathing through your mouth doesn't work for me when I sleep. Yeah, maybe that's what's I don't know. I'm going to stop speculating. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Nice long video today. I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.